the reason I titled this sermon, This Shame. And I really felt led to talk about it because it's something that I struggle with every day. It's something that tears at me every day. And it's come to my understanding on this walk with God that the closer I try to get to God, the more it hurts, which was unexpected. And it's not just a on the surface hurt. It's a deep, heavy ache that just kind of sits in your chest. It's not something a whole lot of people, I think, I've heard them talk about. I'm not sure why. But I know I'm not unique in feeling this. But it does seem that every step nearer that I take to Him, my old failures hit me a lot harder. The things I did before, the things I did that I'm ashamed of, the same stupid patterns that I keep falling back into. Stupid stuff. Things sometimes I feel like I shouldn't still be doing. Particularly the way that I forget His faithfulness and I let my mind wander and I let my worries wander. See, shame weighs heavy. It does. And sometimes I still experience that gut-twisting shame. And when I lay there at night, it whispers to me. It tells me things like, you don't deserve this. You don't deserve the family that you have. You don't deserve the position that you have. You don't deserve to stand in that pulpit. Look at you. Still broken. Still unworthy. And then on top of that, I start to feel ashamed of the shame. I doubt, I question. I say to myself things like, I don't understand so much of what He's doing. There's so much about Him still that I don't understand. Sometimes I sit there and think, if He really sees all of it, how has He not walked away from me? But He doesn't. He keeps pulling me closer anyway. And I'll be honest with you, sometimes that really just wrecks me. But I've learned that this ache is the very thing that keeps most people bound to religion instead of relationship. Sometimes we don't want to face it. See, religion feels safer. It hands you an observable checklist. Show up, sing the songs, follow the rules, keep the rituals. You get that sense of belonging and you get those emotional highs without ever having to stand fully in the light and face what's inside of you. See, it lets you manage your image on the outside while the inside stays untouched. It's easier. There's no deep conviction. There's no aching shame to deal with. You get just enough godliness to quiet that ache without letting it do its work. See, that ache is necessary. You know, Christ never asked for that. Never asked for you to go through those rituals and do all those other things. He told you to follow me, to drop everything, come close, walk with me. But religion built a system that lets you stay at a safe distance. So you get the spoils of war without ever having to put your armor on and suit up. Because real closeness forces you to feel that shame. It exposes the old you. And I think most people would rather settle for the checklist than to stand in that light. See, religion messed up a lot of things, and I think we know that. It's something we talk about here a lot. And I think that one of the things that's probably been most obscured to a lot of us is the work that was done on the cross. See, they turned the cross into a doctrine that said Christ had to die to change God's mind about you. Like the Father was angry and he needed blood before he could love you. And that is not the case. See, Christ didn't die to twist the Father's arm or to pay off some cosmic debt. He died so you would change your mind about God. So you could see the Father's real heart, not the distant, angry judge that religion paints, but the one who runs toward the broken, who welcomes the unworthy, who loves those who the world deems as unlovable. So I used to think that following Jesus was self-improvement. And that's why we did it, to improve ourselves. And it's not just that. But mainstream ideology loves that. It keeps everything manageable. Effort, rules. But the closer I get, the more I see it's not about just becoming a better version of the same old me. It's about dying to the old me completely. Leaving the old me behind. The world and sin shaped us into hard and damaged people. Jesus calls us to drop all of that and to be made brand new again. The person that God always intended for us to be. Not just a better version of ourselves, a whole new being. But I can assure you that dying of your old self, it hurts. It does, it hurts. And sometimes it leaves you standing bare under his light. And that shame floods in because you know how little you deserve it. You start to realize just how little you deserve his love. And most people feel that ache rising and they run back to that religious checklist. It's something visible that they can control. It's something that keeps the exposure at arm's length. It's a comfort zone. See, what that ache is it's mercy. That's the true nature of it. It's mercy. It shows us how desperately we actually need him. It showed me how desperately I actually needed him. I do not deserve for him to welcome me in. I don't deserve the repeated forgiveness when I wander away from him. Yet he gives it to me anyway. That's redemption. It's raw, stubborn, undeserved love that sees every dark corner, every bad thing I've done, and it still says, come closer. I think Jesus showed us that plainly when he said, come to me, all who are weary and heavy burdened, and I'll give you rest. wasn't speaking to the religious crowd when the ones who believed they had their act together. He was speaking to the exhausted, the ashamed, the ones that were failing. It's like when they dragged that woman caught in adultery. They drug her out in the street to stone her under religious law. And according to their law, they had the right to do it. And Jesus turned her accusers away. Said to the woman, I don't condemn you. Go and sin no more. He knew what she did. He knew what she'd been caught doing. And he still gave her the opportunity for a new start. He didn't have wrath with her. Just truth and mercy. That changes the way that I see God. I said the cross didn't change God's mind about us. It revealed it. And once you felt that ache of your own unworthiness and been met by that kind of love, anyway, regardless, something breaks open in you. You begin to understand the love that He commands us to give to others. Because they don't deserve it either. This has helped me understand exactly how I'm supposed to love other people, especially when they don't deserve it. See, the world wants you to keep score. Wants you to keep a tab of how many times someone has wronged you, or whether a person deserves your help or not. And religion adds walls, it adds arguments and judgment that let us feel superior. But real relationship with Christ tears all that down. Love one another as I have loved you. Drop the old hurts. Drop the grudges. Forgive anyway. Love anyway. Because we've been loved even though we don't deserve it. So this is kind of where I'm living at right now. Sometimes it hurts. No more hiding in religious distance or wrong ideas about the cross. His return is drawing closer every day, and I think we all feel it. It's in the air. And I think the last thing that the people out there in the world need is another polished religious version of Christ. The last thing they need is a gold cathedral Christ. The last thing they need is a prosperity and good times Christ. It needs real Jesus. The one who exposes our mess, who refuses to condemn those who come to Him and changes how we see God forever. If that heavy ache is sitting on you today, do not numb it with more of the worship from afar or religious performances. Let it drive you past that checklist into a real closeness with God. Let it remind you how badly you need Him. And go back to it. Feel it. Even when you feel like you're not qualified. Especially when you feel like you're not qualified. because it will cause you to leave more of the old you at his feet. Let it change your mind about who God is. And when it does, turn and love somebody stuck in their own mess the same way that you were loved in your own undeserved way. That's the hard part, ain't it? It's the part we forget about. It's to love somebody even though they're stuck in their own mess. The same way that you were loved by God when you didn't deserve it. I can assure you, I'm right here in the middle of it with you. That pain, the shame, and wondering why I'm being let in anyway. It's just relationship. It's what real love is. And we have to keep walking. We have to keep learning. And we have to be honest with ourselves. Just keep going at it, one undeserved step at a time. I promise you, that relationship is worth it. Even when it hurts. That's the love the world couldn't understand. It's the love that we battle with showing each other. I think the world constantly wants us to assess whether a person is worth our time or our love or our charity. And that's not what we should be doing. Because God loves us and we should know that we don't deserve it. You stop and think about some of the things you've done in your past. God still loves you. I assure you, every one of us has done something in here that probably would have landed us in jail for a long time. That probably stole someone else's joy, stole someone else's peace, did something to somebody that wasn't out of an act of love, it was an act of hatred. And we may have no clue how it impacted that person. We might have caused them to step away from God. It's not something I want to answer for. But I can't do anything about what I did in the past. That was old me. The only thing I can do now is keep moving forward. Right those wrongs. Learn from them. Repent. It's all we can do. Keep moving forward. Hopefully that resonates with some of you. That one hurt me. But we have to be honest with ourselves. You know, you're not going to really see how far of an extent that God goes for you if you're not honest with yourself. You know, you have to be willing to face that you were a bad person at one time. I was a bad person at one time. I've done some horrible things. And I still to this day really don't understand why God let me be here. Why he didn't just take me out. But I see it's because he loves me. And the only thing I can do to say thank you is to show that love to other people, the same love that he's shown me. To be patient with them, to be kind with them, to show them mercy, to show them charity. To do what I can to help make someone else's life a little easier. To be an example of what God's love really is to them. That's our mission here. To be a reflection